I was out of town on a work trip when everything at home quietly began to fall apart. The days were long. My phone was always on silent during meetings, and I trusted that nothing urgent could possibly happen while I was away. I had no idea how wrong I was. Back home, our neighbor, Mrs. Carter, noticed things that didn't feel right. She had always been observant, the kind of person who watered her plants while watching the street more than the flowers. That week, she saw unfamiliar patterns around my house. Late one evening, she noticed lights turning on and off in my living room long after my family was supposed to be asleep. At first, she brushed it off, thinking maybe my spouse was working late or couldn't sleep. But the same thing happened the next night. Then she saw a car she didn't recognize parked in our driveway. It wasn't there during the day, only late at night, and it left before sunrise. Mrs. Carter felt uneasy, but didn't want to jump to conclusions. On the third night, she heard raised voices through an open window. It wasn't loud enough to understand words, but the tension was clear. That was when she realized something was seriously wrong. She tried calling me immediately, but my phone was unreachable due to poor signal. She left a voicemail, her voice shaking slightly as she said she needed to talk to me as soon as possible. The next morning, she sent me a long message explaining everything she had seen. Unfortunately, I didn't read it until hours later, stuck in back-to-back meetings, completely unaware of the storm waiting for me. While I was gone, the truth continued to unravel. Mrs. Carter saw the same stranger enter my house again, this time in broad daylight. My spouse greeted them casually, as if it was perfectly normal. That moment confirmed her fears. She knocked on my door later that afternoon, pretending to borrow something, just to see what was really going on inside. What she witnessed shocked her. She saw photos on the table that didn't belong to our family. Intimate moments frozen in frames that told a story I wasn't supposed to know yet. Mrs. Carter left quickly, her heart racing. She tried calling me again and again. This time, she sent voice notes, explaining that what she saw could change everything and that I needed to come home immediately. When I finally listened to her messages that night, my hands started shaking. Every word felt heavier than the last. I knew, deep down, that my life as I knew it was about to change. I booked the earliest flight home, barely sleeping. My mind replayed every memory, every excuse I had accepted without question. Pieces I had ignored suddenly fit together. When I arrived, Mrs. Carter was waiting outside my house, her face full of worry and guilt. She apologized for getting involved but said she couldn't stay silent anymore. Inside, the house felt unfamiliar. The silence was loud, the air heavy. That was when the truth fully came out, without denial or excuses. The confrontation was painful, raw, and unavoidable. Lies collapsed under the weight of evidence, and promises made over years lost their meaning in minutes. In the days that followed, I felt anger, sadness, and disbelief all at once. But beneath it all, there was also clarity, something I hadn't felt in a long time. Mrs. Carter checked on me often, bringing food and quiet support. Her honesty, though painful, had saved me from living in a lie much longer. I realized that being out of town had delayed the truth, but it couldn't stop it. Some truths demand to be told, no matter the distance. In the end, I thanked my neighbor for her courage. What she told me shattered my world, but it also gave me the chance to rebuild it on something real.